Welcome back to OneStopTutorials.com. My name's Ali Baba, and in this tutorial we're going to be going over the free transform tool and its settings and its warp settings and anything that it does. We're going to be trying to go over in this tutorial. What I got here is I got this picture from the internet somewhere. I deleted the background and I put it on its own layer just so we can abuse it, should I say. Okay, and the free transform, you can get to it two ways. I always use the shortcut, but you can get to it with the marquee selected. You can right click free transform, or you can just hit hold down control and hit T for transform. Okay, I'm going to be using that all the time. It's just easier and it's what I'm used to. So you hit control T, you're in free transform mode. Okay, now what? Okay, so you got these little boxes at the side which you can bring in and bring out. Same the other side, bring in, bring out. And you got the bottom, bring up, bring down. Okay, top, bring down, bring up. And you got the corner where you can drag inwards. Okay, you can flip it, you can up, you can make it fat, you can do anything. If you hold down shift with the corner selected, it brings it down in proportion. Okay, so it doesn't bring it down and down squeeze, it will just bring it up in proportion and down in proportion. Okay, if you move your arrow inside the free transform square box, you can pick up the image and move it. Okay, if you move your mouse arrow out to the outside, you'll see these two little arrows, one going left, one going down. That means you can rotate it, so you hold down the left mouse and you can rotate the image. Okay, so you just rotate it. You can grab it at the bottom as well, rotate it. If you, so let me just bring that back to how it was. If you hold down shift while rotating it on the outside, it will move it at 15 degrees at a time. Okay, shift, 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 you'll notice it sort of snaps. So that's 180, and if we wanted 360, we move it around, and you'll notice it just snaps into place. Boom, boom. Okay, so that's how you do it at a 15-degree angle. Then you got this little thing in the middle. This is called the point. Okay, this is where it follows by. Okay, so at the moment it's in the middle, so we're moving it in the middle. This anchor point, if we will move it, let's say to this corner, put it there. Now anytime we rotate it, it rotates from that point. Okay, so if we were to just simply click on it, drag it, move it to the bottom one, it rotates it from that point. Okay, so that's very handy to know. Maybe later on you'll need that. Let me not commit to that. And okay, so that's the points. Again, if you just moved over to this one, it would obviously rotate from that one. I think you sort of get the idea now. Okay, if we move up with the in free transform mode, if we move up to the top here, you'll see some options. The first one is exactly the same as us picking up this anchor point and moving it. That's to the top, that's to the right, that's to the bottom. It just moves it for you. The reason that it's good to be able to move it is, let's say we wanted an anchor point just from his thumb there, we could then just drag that there, and that's where we go from. This is more set to the actual proper angles. Okay. Then moving along, you can move the anchor point along the X. This is moving along the X. This is moving along the Y. Okay, and I'm just hovering my mouse over the letter Y and just dragging left and right. I really like the way it does that. Next, you've got the width, which will bring in the tree transform, or bring it out. It's basically like the handles, but you're doing it to a percentage. Okay. You then got the height, up, down. Okay, I'm just gonna abuse in this picture. And then you got the next where you lean it to the right at a certain percentage. Don't accept. And then the other one is you lean it. You does it in sort of like a perspective view, where it moves it over to the right and this end down, and this one will do like a funky perspective. Okay, this one does it this way. We're really starting to abuse this picture. Okay, so that's the settings for those. This little lock here, if you click that and then use the width, you'll notice it moves it in and out at proportion, instead of, if we didn't click it, there is no sort of proportion. Okay, you click it, it just keeps it a bit like holding down shift and bringing down. Okay, so that's those tools. Then you've got the warp tool, which is a great tool here. This does some really nice stuff. You can simply just warp, just grab the corners. You can abuse this picture really quite a lot. Okay, I'm gonna not commit to that. And then you can go back into warp, and then you get these options here, which allows you to do an arc, and you just simply drag down, drag up to get the what you want. And then you've got all these settings. You can just go through them and play them up, down. That gives you a flag effect. This gives you a fish effect, where big at one end, small at the other. Shell, this means up, down. Okay, and this little tab here will allow you to do it from the side view. At the moment, if you notice with all of them, they always start at the top or the bottom, like this one, top or bottom. If you click this, it allows you left to the right. Okay, you're really getting some weird looks. So that's what that allows you to do. And again, you just go through these tabs, and they just, look at that, they just do. My name is do. Okay, Ali. And so yeah, you play with those. I'm not going to play with those no more because it's going to get very, very obsessive. Okay, so that's basically the don't commit. Control T. Control T. That's basically the free transform tool. Just play around with it, come up with some funky stuff. You do have the right key option where inside the image, inside the box, you have some other stuff where you can flip horizontally. So you notice the dark side's on the right. If we do it here, the dark side's on the left. Flip vertically again to bring it back. And then you've got those options that we had before, like rotate, which will allow us to rotate, but you can do anyway. Perspective will give you that sort of he's far away sort of look. Yeah, okay, quite a funky thing. Let me not commit. Quickly go Control T, and then you got like the warp. You can do some warp settings. Okay, just use the handles and abuse the picture. Now, one thing I didn't tell you, what you can do in normal free transform mode, just normal Control T mode. If you hold down Control, that allows you to put the image into perspective and still being in the same mode. Okay, so you can make him look like he's lying down. Okay, just that's holding down Control. If I didn't hold down Control, it would just put me into free transform mode. Okay, and then when you're happy with a selection and go back into free transform, you can, if let's say we've abused this means no, I don't want to commit, so when you click that, it goes back to normal. Or you could let's abuse this again, and you could say yep, I'm happy with that, and you just simply click the tick, and that's what it becomes. Okay, so play around with it, play around with the right click, play around with some of these settings. Definitely play around with the warp. That's the warp tool there. Click on that and go through some of these settings, because really fun stuff, the way you can manipulate and edit this image. And trust me, you'll probably be using this for quite a few projects. Okay, that's it from onestoptutorials.com. The next tutorial, I'm going to be mixing the quick mask and the free transform tool together so you can get some better selections. Okay, take it all easy. Subscribe to my YouTube or visit my website onestoptutorials.com, and if you've got any questions, leave them there. And we're going to be getting into some good projects soon. I was just thinking today what projects we're going to be doing, and I think I found our first fun project where we can really get used to the tools and see what we come up with. Take it easy, everyone. Look forward to seeing you next time. Laters.